Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So we're still working on page 1. We're almost done with, actually I just need to, we're done with panel 2, which is this panel here. So you guys can see. As I stated, I did go ahead and work on the details and stuff off camera just because I had to kind of get in close with the to see the lines and everything. So I did that off camera so that way I could do that without having my head in the way of the camera. Let me make sure I got that right. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up this line here, the border, and then we'll start working on the panel at the bottom. And I'm sure you can see I changed the design a little bit of the chair, which I need to draw in darker. I guess I can do that later. It's not a big deal. Most likely it'll get blown out after I do the shading and stuff. Depending on how I do that particular scene. And what I might do before I start just rendering these panels is take a picture of it with my iPad and then rough out the shading / rendering on my iPad before I go ahead and do it on the actual piece. There we go. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. You can also probably see that I've darkened the lines on some of these, some of the stuff here on this panel. But yeah, I also did some studying. I'll show you guys in a second. Some of the stuff is going to have to be cleaned up after I scan it in. And go back in and fix some of this stuff. Alright, so I did do some clothing study. I'll go over this and then we'll go into the comic. So working with the Morpho book, the clothing fold and creases. I stopped on this page, or finished up on this page. So technically I stopped on this page, so I haven't done this page yet. These are my notes. Here are my notes. Let me back this up a little bit. So literally made notes. Some of the stuff you guys have probably seen, I think you guys have seen this part in the previous video. But notes here on tension knots, clothing, all this stuff. I did this today and this today. And working how, let me turn that, it's Afro Samurai I've got playing in the background. But studying how folds work and stuff like that. With the Morpho books, not only are the pictures useful, but like any art book, you want to actually read the information that is presented so you understand what they're talking about, because just copying it, you're not gonna really understand what the author is trying to get across. So with me reading this information, I was really able to not only understand but apply the information that is being talked about in this, and it helps me see clothing in a different light. So that way when I start creating certain things, I'll know what I'm doing. Like when I'm creating a figure with their hand up, right? I know there's going to be certain folds in the directions that they're going to go and why. When there's bending in the leg, like this is like if the leg is, like if someone's sitting and the leg is, the knee is sticking outward, you know, those folds, the tension points, on the arm, if it's bending, how that's going to go. Let's see, you know, if there's tight fabric here or if there's loose fabric, how that would fall, especially if you're talking about clothing where like the leg pants are tucked in into like the clothing, like how that would look. So what I call the accordion folds, I'm not sure if there's another name for it, but the Morpho books mention accordion shaped falling fold, so I just call it the accordion fold. And then how you'll have different types of folds and tension points interacting with each other, because you've got with this particular image here, right? You've got the accordion fold down here in the pants leg, and then you've got the tension points here where you've got the crease pulling one way and stuff like that. So what they call flexion folds would be like here, and this is like tension folds here. So all that stuff is combined within like one image, and understanding that. So yeah, actually reading the books and stuff is where you're going to get the best knowledge. So now we're going to work on the bottom page here, the bottom panel. I'm going to pull up my reference, as I always do. We're going to load. And we're going to work with this guy first. I'm going to rough it in, because what I'm most likely going to have to do, kind of like how I did the second panel, is after I rough it in, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, probably go I'm probably gonna have to fix this up off screen or off camera. Because I'm gonna have to get close on some of these, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to do it in the best way on camera, just because so I think in the previous video I was talking about how I'm doing a social media or social media detox, I guess would be the word. But I did no streaming of any kind, so no Spotify, no YouTube. I'm doing that for 7 days, and it's been hard, because especially with YouTube, because I've been so used to just getting on YouTube for information or to pass the time, or as background music, or not background music, but background noise when I'm doing stuff, and not being able to do that for a week has been a challenge. But the thing is, I'll have to move this body over. I do find myself being more creative. Like, I have more ideas about certain things. I have more energy, so I don't feel as bogged down. I've been able to focus, I feel like, a lot more when it comes to certain things. Do this. This is the hand, but it's the fingers, so let's do something like that. And I'm going to do a sword so I can erase this part. So it has been difficult at times, but I've found that I also am not going to YouTube, or I'm not finding myself wanting to go to YouTube as much. Like, I think today is Wednesday, and I'll be done with the challenge by this Friday coming up. So I kind of want to extend it. I don't think I'm going to extend it, but what I'm going to do is really look at you're gonna see this because you would see like the hand here. I'm gonna be a shield here. But I do want to cut back though on my social media consumption. So I'll probably still go to YouTube. I'll go back to being able to watch YouTube, but I'll really be more mindful of how often I am on YouTube, how many hours I'm spending on YouTube now. What I did do, because I did make exceptions, like Instagram, what I would do is just check my messages from my friends. Now, if they sent reels, I wouldn't watch the reels, but like if we've been like messaging via like Instagram, that's how I would message them back on that, because that's how we've been. That's like one of the main areas, one of the main ways I'm able to communicate with a few of my friends, but do this real quick. This is actually do this. But I have to figure it down. Sorry, I was trying to fix this pose. Actually, torso is going to go forward. Let me move this up. No, back that up. Move this up here. We're going to back this up. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so let's see here. I might have to freehand how this is most likely gonna go, because I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes trying to get the pose down in the program, so I'm going to look at what I have and then change what I need to change here. doesn't have to be perfect. I just need to get but yeah, you guys can see. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Oopsies. But yeah, I'm just gonna be more mindful about how much time I'm spending on social media. And it's fine if it covers this guy because we're on a battlefield, so there's going to be overlap. Something like that, and then we're going to maybe here and like this, and then you actually probably won't see his hammer, something like that, maybe. I don't know. So we'll see. Because if I do this, it had to be like here and then here, like the here and here, something like that, maybe. Maybe it's like a mace instead of like a hammer. I could do like that. Maybe he's here and then here is one hand. And one trick that I got from somewhere, I forgot who I got this from, but I think it was actually Rich Grayson, is draw where you want the hand to be and then draw the connecting, then draw the rest of the forearm and stuff, or the rest of the arm there. And then, so this would be here, and then this would be here, like that. This is probably going to be here. And then I'll probably end up having to do something like that. And then this would be the other hand here, or maybe like here. And then this would go down here. And then you wouldn't see the other arm here. Something like that. And then maybe his head is actually something like that. Just kind of roughing it in there. But I feel like that's, or maybe, So maybe not here. Maybe it's about to come down. Something like that, maybe. This might completely, fully change. I might have to move him back. I'm not sure what I want to do with that, but we'll skip that guy for right now. But I do want to get this guy here. This guy's pretty much roughed in for the most part. But there's a guy who's coming down here, so we're gonna get him in. Yes, I need to get something to drink. It's hot. Give me a second, guys. All right, guys. All right, I need to get something to drink. It's extremely. My body's hot. All right. Let me see. We're only 27 minutes in. It's not bad. So we're gonna work on this guy here. This is gonna be from the side. Now his face might be like at a 2/3 view. Gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Jeez. Possibly a 2/3 view. Sorry, but yeah, okay, so yeah, it's gonna probably be a third from us. 2/3 view. There's a freaking gnat and I'm trying to kill it. It is irking the Jesus out of like, I swear. All right, so let's continue on. Let me see what we got going on here. Would that prevent the, possibly. Put on my hand will still show a shadow. Trying to figure out a way that I can do the light without it causing too much of a shadow, but I think that's just gonna be the way it is. No matter what I do, it's gonna cast a shadow. All right. Oh, but yeah, so talking about the no streaming or no social media, no streaming. I haven't even watched Tubi. Like I've really been focusing on either like one of the things I've been doing is focusing on the physical media that I do have that I haven't watched yet. I'm kind of winging this pose here. I know what I have pictured in my mind, and I'm trying to get that pose down. And I'll sketch it out, and then later on, if I need to, I will possibly reference, do a reference of this pose. This might be like behind, his leg would be like behind maybe the force field this guy is putting off. And then because if it's going past his head, it would go like this way, and then here, like that, something like that, because this would stick out more. And then shoulder here, have like the deltoids here, deltoid there. And then like that. This guy here, we're gonna do I want to have it more like this. Maybe he's like leaning against something. The hell is that? Something spilled on this. I can see it from the angle. I don't know what it was, but whatever. So if we're going this way, like say, and then right here, and then this would be the chest area. Maybe dead body here. I would have to pull up reference because I don't really draw the face from the looking up, so I would have to definitely pull up reference for this. And then maybe their shoulders here. Oh jeez. And then maybe he is holding the thumb would be down. So I'm trying to figure out if I was doing this. The thumb would be down as if he was like trying to pull it out. Maybe. Like this would be the pinky. And then these would be the other fingers here. And then this would be the thumb. And then like maybe I would have to get like a, let me see. Because if he was trying to be like this way, be this way. Something like that. Just roughly putting it in. And which would be here, and then maybe his arm would stick out. Actually, this would go like this, something like that, and then I'm guessing here with that particular pose. I don't know yet, but we've got body got being blasted here. So we're going to create that pose real quick with some program. Here, right here, here, here. This leg will probably stick out more. He would be rotated. Actually, the hips would, there we go, like that. And then I would, wrong one. This would actually probably be more out in front of him. Boom, like that. This would go out in front. I'm gonna be raised up, probably a little bit more out here. That elbow would probably go in a little bit. Arm would probably go just a little bit, like that. There we go. All right, so I've got my pose pretty much kind of laid out here. Like that, there we go. And I think it's more from the back, like that. I need to change the lighting. The lighting is weird. There we go. Actually, let me fix that. What's the lighting on this? I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Like that. There we go. Second light is like that. Down. Like that. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to give me a sec. There's that. And then it can, actually I'll just do the figure. And then trying to get the lighting is kind of funky, so I can figure out how I'm making this look weird. I'm gonna save this. Here, yes. Okay, now we can work on this guy. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna rotate. Oopsies, keep hitting my camera. There you go, save. Let me actually, I can go ahead and unplug my phone here because I think it's fully charged, or close to anyway. All right, there we go. So we've got the head. So once again, my figure doesn't have to fit within the stick figure that I laid out. It's a guide. Like a mosquito bit me. Not really much to say as I'm working on this. So this is like the spine here. This is the butt. So this guy's legs are gonna be, he's flying off the ground, so it's being blasted backwards. You probably see his other leg over here. And then maybe his foot. like that. And then this. And then maybe he's got this, so we're going like, maybe it's more like, this would probably tilt in just a little bit, like inward. And then this arm here, here, and then like that maybe. Something like that, and then like that, because he's being blown back, so he's gonna have a blast here, and then he's being blasted here, so we've got the thumb here. His hands would be like this as he's being thrown back. I'm trying to think. Let me see. So we're gonna save this, just in case I have to come back to it. And then this pose here, I think I actually have a pose of it. We already have a pose like that. Let me see. No pose. You guys get to see, well, you're not seeing it, but the time it takes me to find the pose or create a pose that I can use for reference. This pose. Pretty much, there we go. So actually what I'm gonna do, slide over, gonna pull up Rapid Viz. I'm just gonna drop this in here. Undo. Oh, come on, man. It's not gonna let me just slide it over. Crap, let me see. Crap. I'm gonna have to just insert it. Give me a sec, guys. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I think that's the one I need. Yeah, that's the one I need. All right. I know we're like closing in on an hour. And I am having to really, the pose that I found, the reference that I found is not like a 1-for-1, so I'm literally having to really work it out in my head. I'm gonna have to fix the legs. The legs aren't long enough, I don't think. So actually, this needs to bend like this. Like that. And then this is going to go here. And then this is the front, and then drawing this like this so I know how this leg is bending. And most likely it'll be covered by this guy's foot, which is fine. And then we're gonna go here. His hand's gonna be here, like this. And then we're going to overlap here, like that. And then maybe like this. Maybe like this, and maybe he's got a sword. Maybe he's got a sword here. I don't know. Like that. See if we can find some laying bodies here. And then after I sketch what I can with these images, we'll call it a day because I'm gonna go get something to eat. Actually, what I can do is I keep forgetting I have this book, Poses and People in Poses by Impact, comic artists, photo reference. I do actually have the CD still for this book, so which includes more poses, but I need to find wounded pose. So we're going to swords, guns. I wish this was organized by pose instead of by person, because it'll have the person and then it'll have them in different poses like facial expressions, standing, sitting, lifting, street clothes, capes, swords, stuff like that. I wish they had all those combined as one, so all the sword pictures together, all the gun poses together, all the fighting together, and then do it that way versus separated by model. Come on. Wounded poses, flying. Where's wounded? Scared, wounded. They're not even in alphabetical order, which is another thing that irritates me, but whatever. Dang. Let's see if I can get to the first guy here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Think I can get one more person in before I call it a day. And I'll have this figure over here so that way this guy isn't stepping on him. And what I'm gonna do is, like, if it was alright, so something like this. He's looking up. At least right now he is. I can always change that later. Torso. You be mindful of the size comparisons here. And then you got the neck here, and then we've got the torso, and it's going to be flat against the ground here. I want to make sure I got the head proportion about, maybe probably make this head a little bit bigger. This is what I'll do to that. It'll make it a lot easier for me. here to here. That's the size of the head. So here to here. All right, so from here to here, it's about the size of the head. Maybe this guy's got a missing arm and he's bleeding out. His leg would most likely stick out. Something like this. This guy, yeah. Creating the body, lying like drawing the body laying down, I feel like is one of the hardest things to get. It's like this would be the side of the torso. So the arm would be here. And this would be right here. And then the elbow. And then the other arm here. And then the hand. Like that, maybe. And like I said, maybe he's missing an arm. So and then with this guy being blasted, maybe there's also blood. Maybe he's got like maybe there's like a whatever blasted him. It went straight through, so now he's got blood and guts and all that stuff coming out there. Because I can make this gory. And then, so yeah, maybe he's missing an arm. And then there's this guy, probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe his skull is cracked over. I don't know what I'm going to do with that guy yet. But this guy, of course, he's got a stake through him. So there's that part. So I think what I'm going to do is what else did I do? I can do like maybe and then maybe with him I'll also do like maybe he's got arrows that hit him as well. then he's literally in a pool of blood. This is just what I'm doing to represent arrows for right now. And then there's another, I'll have like some random characters back here. Maybe this guy's being impaled. Like this, I'll do like that. And then maybe like that. And then this is probably just going to be like a mannequin. You won't really see much with this guy because of the distance. And then I don't know what's going on there yet, but maybe like this. And then maybe he's got, so he's being impaled and there's blood splatter here. And I'll make a note. Impaled with blood. And then he's got like a sword or something here in his hand. And then I'll go back and I'll add like debris and stuff and like flags. Like I can do this, and then I'll have like a flag here, and then maybe you know, maybe someone, maybe he had a shield that's flying here, right? And then do like that. And then maybe there's like swords going on the ground here. Just random, I'm just gonna random debris and stuff here. So I think, I mean, that's what we've got so far. I think we've did pretty well with this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna work with any of it off camera, but I think that's good for right now for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.